And we're back. We're back for more conversation around Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay, we got to get into the after show, but we also have to talk about some things that Gizelle and Robyn talked about over on their podcast. Y'all know Charisse went out. She did interviews with Carlos King and ain't no telling where else where she shared her thoughts. I saw another video of her. I think it was like on the news station. So I have to say, Ashley Darby coming down here to kind of like clapped back at Charisse and said it's real funny that you got this energy now. And it makes me wonder what's the agenda? Okay. What's the agenda, girl? Because it definitely seems like you are milking this time. The fact that you are a person that does not want to be back on the show and, oh, you guys don't know how much I haven't been wanting to be on this show, how many contracts I've turned down. It's like, well, you show using this to milk, honey, because you done went over there to multiple platforms. Okay. And you're not even a main cast member of the show. But if you watch the interview she did with Carlos King, you too would have saw some of the things that I saw, where she was pretty much saying that there was a moment with the ladies that was a good moment she thought they would have used. And it's like, why would they use that if you were in charge of that portion when you're not a part of the show like that? You're not a main cast member. So I don't know, Charisse. I think that as much as you downplay your desire to want to be on this show, I think that you miss it. I think you miss being on this show and getting the attention that you've gotten from the show. All right. But before we really tap into that, because Jazelle and Robyn had a lot to say about what Sheree said over there in that interview, I want us to tap into the after show. Okay. So let us do that. So, of course, they open up the show with Ashley and Monique speaking about the Colorado trip. And Ashley said that she didn't understand the setup of two people going over here, then everybody else being over there. She didn't quite understand that. She thought it was a little crazy, right? Monique says that she doesn't like going out of her home state and not knowing what the accommodations are. And I was a little like, oh, I thought that that was the case for all of the trips that you guys take. And you don't really learn more until you touch down. Right. So I don't know. That's what Monique said. I thought that was a very common thing for the ladies to do to, at least that you're going to Colorado, you'll be staying in an Airbnb type of thing, or you're going over here out of the country and you'll be staying at this resort. Right. I feel like you did know enough about your accommodations, though. Maybe you just didn't know that it was going to be an hour away from her house or something like that. So it's like, a lot of y'all kind of set yourself up for the okie doke that y'all was actually gonna go and stay at that lady house like that. Okay. But anywho, everybody was confused. Okay. So it wasn't just those two ladies that were a little like, what's going on? Everybody was confused, but I feel like y'all kind of did some of that to y'allself. Okay. Either way, it is what it is. All right. So Wendy says that she doesn't understand the purpose of the trip if the purpose of the trip was to see her home and the acres that she had. And I said, see, I feel like going to Angel's house is a full experience. And that lady said y'all was going to see her home, just a piece of it. Like, you're going to see it. You're just not going to stay at it. And I just don't understand why the ladies are making this such a big damn deal. Such a big deal. And I feel like the reason they are is because they wanted to be able to pick it apart. Y'all staying at Angel's house is not going to make y'all feel any closer to her. It's not going to make y'all feel like she really likes y'all more than what she does. It's just not finna damn happen. Hell, some of y'all live in the same area or within an hour of each other, and y'all ain't been to each other's house or inside of it. Like, calm down. Okay? I think when Wendy came to Gizelle's house this season, I feel like that was her first time going into Gizelle's damn house. Okay? So it's like, y'all just doing too much. Y'all doing too much. I do agree with Ashley, because Ashley was like, well, was there not at least a house that was closer? Like, it seemed like Ashley was understanding, cool, you don't want me at your house. I'm fine with that. That's okay. But could you possibly have a home closer? And I'm not even going to hold Ashley on that. I said, I got to agree with Ashley. There could have been a house that was 30 minutes out. Now, I'm going to say this. For me, if I'm the hostess, I wouldn't want to get in my car and drive an hour there and an hour back just to interact with the ladies, right? I'm not trying to do that. That's 2 hours out my day. That's too much time, honey. Okay, let me bring these ladies a little closer to the city. Now, let me tell you this. If it was Angel's goal to have those ladies traveling back and forth to meet her in the city or meet her where she's at, that is a key to me. That is hilarious, because after putting y'all through a whole long day, A whole long day. She finna have y'all get right in that car and y'all finna have to drive a full hour all the way back. Okay? Which really ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that bad for real, for real. But when you tired as hell and you trying to get to your place to stay, baby, that hour seem like eternity. I'm not gonna hold you, okay? So that right there is a kiki, especially if Angel's not gonna be doing the driving back and forth, okay? I felt like that may be payback for all of y'all, and y'all to put that lady through just a little piece during this season. Okay, now I will say that they didn't put you through everything. Some stuff you did bring on your own, okay, because you wasn't saying it with your chest. All right. Now, Angel does let the people know in the after show that this was actually supposed to be a couple's trip. Right. So that additional house she went to go get or whatever, that was supposed to accommodate those ladies and their partners. But then she sat back, thought about it and said, oh, wait, everybody don't got a partner. This may not go so well. Let's switch it, change it, rearrange it. I feel like who all got a partner? Kiana got a partner. Angel has a partner. Jassy has a partner. Gizelle got somebody she not finna bring around. Stacy got somebody. Wendy has somebody. Monique doesn't have somebody. And Ashley had somebody. Right? But Ashley ended up breaking up with her person. So it does seem like it would have been half and half, I guess. Ashley Gizelle. I don't believe Timo would have went on behalf of Stacy. So Stacy would have had to bring her guy friend. But that probably could have been fine, though. That probably would have been fine because Tia said her husband couldn't come, but she would have brought, her brother or something. So I don't know. I don't know if they had more of a romantic vibe planned for the ladies and it just wasn't going to work if you would have brought your good guy friend or your sibling, right? So maybe that wouldn't have worked. She decided to switch it, change it. And that's just what it was because her goal was to house 2 additional couples at her house. It was only going to be 3 couples at her house, including her, right? And it was going to be Tia and her husband, Kay and her man, Greg, right? So they was going to be over there. But instead, she switched it up, and I have no issues. Like, that is that woman's property. She has a right to decide who can and cannot be there. And let me tell you something. I'm so in agreement with this, and I didn't think about this during my review, but I'm thinking about it now as I'm doing this video with you guys. After knowing how Ashley Darby, and they didn't know this at the time, right? But Ashley Darby goes on to say something in the confessional about Stacy, I'm sorry, not Stacy, but Angel's husband, trying to say, oh, well, he seems like he may have a little bit of a temper. Whatever that was, and if y'all ladies are making it a bigger deal than what it is when that man said we'll get there when we get there, you cannot. You'll get to my house when you get there. That's what's going to happen. You'll get there when you get there. You scoot back up off me, okay? Because if y'all would make them strong allegations and barely even met the man or whatever the case was, right? It's one thing if you felt like it was rude, because maybe it was, right? Y'all are rushing them, whatever they gave you on that a not so great response. You wasn't expecting that. I understand if you feel like it's rude, but to go the extra mile, no. You said stuff about my husband. You done said shit about me. BITCH, you're definitely one of the people that can't come to this house. And because I don't feel safe with none of you ladies, and I've watched this show to see how most of y'all operate, no, you're not going to come to my house. Why? So you can watch my husband even more and then come up with more allegations or whatever you could say? We're not going to do that. So I have no issue with that woman not letting them folks at her house. And if they're on this Colorado trip and they never see her home, shoulder shrug. Okay? Shoulder shrug. Especially if her kids going to be at that house too. Because if you guys feel like they're uprooting their whole family to go back to Colorado, let Jazelle tell it because that's where she really stays at. If that's the case, then her children may be at their house as well. So she don't got no room for you. So what else is going on? And they probably got another relative at the house to help Bobby out with the kids while she's entertaining y'all. No, I don't got no room. And I don't feel like I should have to explain that to y'all. But since y'all want to know, let me let you know. I just wish that Angel would have said that in her with her chest instead of saying, oh, because it's like, no. All right, I got a lot going on in my house, so you guys will see it, but you will not be staying. Sorry. Now they move on to the binder event. They talk about that. Monique says that Stacey was on edge the whole time and she was kind of worried about, is anybody going to read this? Are they going to read this? Like, she was just asking questions. And when she did that, for Monique, she was like, oh, girl, this is a red flag. Red flag, red flag, flag on the play, flag on the play. Monique felt like this was a lot of a red flag for Stacey to do this because in her head, she said, if you're writing down your true, authentic feelings, it shouldn't matter who else is going to read it because you should be able to say that to them anyway. Right. And I agree with some of it and I don't. Like, yeah, I do agree with like you should be able to say that to whoever. Right. And be clear, Stacey can't handle these ladies as she has handled it. But the part that I disagree with is saying that if you're writing down your true authentic feelings, it kind of came off as though she was believing that Stacey was being a fraud and Stacey wasn't writing down her true authentic feelings. And in that moment, it's like, I don't know, Mo, like it's giving you don't like Stacey for some reason, right? And I'm willing to believe that that reason is Ashley and Gizelle, right? That's what I'm thinking. But again, as the episode or the after show continued to play on, there was another indicator that made me feel like, okay, yeah, that's what's going on. You don't like that lady. You don't like that lady. And it would make sense if she did something to you, right? She never dated Chris. And even if she did, you are not with him. And she didn't date him while y'all were together. Okay, so that is a little. I'm not really liking it. Please, yikes. Either way, that's what's going on. Now, Mo did go on to say this is the part for me. She said Tia's response to Stacey when she read the documentation, read her portion. Right, she said she was kind of shocked by it because she sees Tia as a goody two shoes. Ooh, I ain't really noticed that. Did y'all? Because some of y'all may feel like Tia do give off goody two shoes, honey. So y'all let me know, okay? That may be the case. I didn't really get that vibe from her. Maybe it's because of her accent or something that I didn't really think about her being goody two shoes, but she could be. I feel like Stacey would probably give more of a goody two shoe than Tia, but y'all let me know, all right? Now, Mo goes on to say that Tia is saying that Stacey was a wonder, not wonderful. She just leaves me wondering. And that's when Monique was like, well, in that moment, she realized I love Tia. That was shady. I liked that. So she liked Tia because Tia shaded Stacey. I said, okay, you have an issue with Stacey based on what Jazelle and Ashley have said to you. Please do not become the fourth wheel on the Ashley, Jazelle, and Wendy bus. Now, Wendy does like Stacey. So that's not what I mean when I say bus. I'm talking about the bus of when I see these three ladies film together, Ashley, Jazelle, and Wendy, I cringe. I hate it. It does give a little bit of mean girl click up. And I don't want to see Mo go into that. Like, let Ashley and Jazelle be let them do their thing. Let them be the mean girls or whatever they doing. Let them do it. Y'all don't got to join them. Okay? Because it's only going to make more people, I feel personal, turn against y'all. Because then now y'all are going to be, first of all, with Mo adopting a beef with a person that ain't got an issue with you. And then I don't always agree with how Wendy shows up with Angel. Right? Now, granted, I feel like Angel has done stuff and Wendy had a right to, clap back, respond back, whatever the case is. But that whole sit down when they were talking about her being evicted and her finances, so unnecessary. So didn't care. Seeing this sit down this past episode when they were at the restaurant, like so lame. Like I'm not there with it. So I just let Ashley and Jazelle do what they gonna do. Okay. Now, Wendy does talk about her situation because y'all know in the binder, she said that Kay was fake. And she said her biggest issue with Kay is the fact that you said I did this and that. Right? You come off accusatory, but not one time did you call me to gain any type of clarity. You have yet to do that till this day. You have not reached out to me to gain any type of clarity of the situation. None of that. You just operate like I'm just doing things intentionally and I just did this and that to you. And that's not like you ain't trying to get no clarity. And I don't like that. So that is her biggest issue. Meanwhile, Kay says that Wendy likes to act like she's more superior than others. She often likes to show up like a superior person. She likes to paint an image, according to Kay, that she's bigger than what she really is. And that bothers Kay. Now, I don't mind nobody acting bigger than what the hell they is, okay? Do what you got to do for your confidence, right? Unless, you're trying to down others, right? I guess like my issue that's been with Lisa Barlow at times, right? When Lisa try to act like she's so grand, which also you could tell it pisses Heather Gay off because she's like, girl, we all on like the same level, right? And Lisa will mention the different celebrities that she works with to let them know we not on the same level. Like, I mean, then if it's like that and you trying to sock it to a person, okay, girl, like you doing too much, maybe. Okay, but if you just think bigger of yourself, I don't got no issue with that. If it offends somebody else and you're not directly doing it, that's something they got to work out within themselves. Let her walk around like she's bigger than the program. Maybe her acting like she's bigger than the program has allowed her to get bigger things than what she's had before. It doesn't have to be a slight or insult towards you, unless she's treating you like you're down here. And I feel like that's what Kay is trying to say. But I feel like she doesn't have the proper examples to match that. So we'll have to see more. For me, I'll have to see more, right? Now, they do discuss the rooms. And Monique said that 3 of them had to use the bathroom. They had to share it. They had to use that together. They had to figure that out. And when Ashley said, oh, I felt sorry for y'all. I felt for y'all. I said, oh, wait. So Jazelle and Ashley really did leave. Oh, girl. Jazelle meant that when she said, I'm not going in that room. I'm not going in there. So when she went down there and laid on that couch, honey, she was over there researching where the hell they could go stay at because Jazelle meant she was going to get the hell out of Dodge. And that's so funny to me because you already an hour out. So where you finna go? I guess she went I guess she went down there to the same area that Angel was at. I guess. I don't know. I feel like they should be forced to stay and deal with the accommodations. Right? That's how I feel. I don't feel like they should be able to get out of the situation unless there are like bugs and stuff like that. Other than that, you just don't like your room? Like, no, we're filming here. We're not finna send a crew all the way over there to the hotel to film with y'all over there too. No, we all gonna be here. I feel like they should have made Ashley and Gizelle like if everybody else over the past few seasons have to stick with their accommodations, make them stick with it too. Even when Karen was about to go and get her a hotel last year, I think they made her stay, or at least, no, I think somebody gave up a room so that she could have that room. But it wasn't even all that bad. But all in all, I feel like make them folks stay. But then I think Karen did get another room when it was like Mia's trip. Did she or did she stay? I can't remember. No, I think Mia gave her a good room in the corner. I feel like somebody left. But all in all, make them folks stay. Make them stay. Reality, though, that is the part of reality because if I go to a resort and I don't like my damn room, then BIT, where's the local hotel at? Let me just go stay at the hotel for my time being here because you got me up. I do get it. I do get it. But for the purposes of filming the show, make them stay put. So Jazelle says Angel was excited. She was excited to think that me and Ashley would be upset being in that room with twin beds, but that's so season 1, very season 1. Well, first of all, she should be excited. I mean, don't you do stuff for the excitement? Didn't you not put a name on Stacey's robe? Didn't you not write anything on her card? Like, didn't you give her nothing? Right? Because you're excited to get a reaction, right? So now when somebody's doing it to you, it's a problem. Now you can't be out here being the only one with jokes on the show, Gizelle. You cannot be the only person on the show with jokes. You gotta let the ladies play with you just a little piece, girl. All right. And then y'all try to manipulate and gaslight other folks when y'all are joking and they're not. You try to make them just like what Wendy did in my personal. A lot of people have been online that I've been seeing, especially on threads, defending Dr. Wendy, saying she was trying to give Angel a heads up at the table on this is just a show. You can't take what these ladies are saying to heart. Why not? Why not? Just because we filming the show don't mean that my feelings can't get hurt. Just because we filming the show don't mean that I can't get offended. Just because we filming the show don't mean that you get to say whatever the hell you want to say to me and I don't get to feel a way about it. Don't police my reaction, please. You didn't police the BITs that brought it to me. Please do not police my reaction. Okay? So, yeah, Jazelle, y'all do it to other folks and then when it's your turn, you don't like it. No, it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. Two can play that game. Let's play it, okay? Anywho, Let's go back to Giselle saying that this is very season one. Girl, I said, is it? Because wasn't last season when there was another trip and Stacy and Kay literally were in a bed with in a room with bunk beds? Girl, listen, I think that is every season, not just season one. I think it's every season for different cast members, and that's just what it is, right? So Giselle says that it was dumb of Angel to do that. And Angel was excited. Why should she not be excited? That's your superior complex, in my opinion, where you feel like, oh, I get to dish this, but you don't get to react or respond or do this back to me. That don't sound good. Okay? That don't sound good. Anywho, one thing I like about Tia is how she does not go along with everything Gizelle says. Right? I understand there was that slight issue with Stacey, but I feel like she was still giving Stacey a chance until Stacey did what she did with the whole Wendy thing. You told her information, she told it to Wendy, and then you tried to make it seem like she was the problem or whatever, right? So I do like that Stacey can have her own mind. Jazzy, baby, I want you to work on that because I've noticed that in the sit downs in the after show. I feel like it may be a lot of agreeing with Giselle. And if you step up to being a full-time cast member as they step Ashley down or something, don't do that. Work on forming your own identity. I know you and Giselle are sorority sisters. I know Giselle was instrumental on bringing you back, I guess, to the show or something when she went on that. She had that whole vacation and then invited you on it. And I know you want to feel like you have to show a form of loyalty to her, but more importantly, you have loyalty to yourself. Okay? And you ain't got to agree and go along with everything. All right? And one thing I will give you, though, is you being on reserve at this time as we're watching it on the show when it comes to Stacey and kind of having her back. Now, you did kind of fall off a little piece when you did your interview. I believe it was with No Chaser TV where you kind of referenced whatever issue you were upset with Stacey for something. Right? You kind of threw some shade at Stacey, but like let it be your own feelings. Don't adopt nobody else's feelings and their ego on a situation, okay? That's that on that. Now, Kay goes on to reference the trip that Wendy hosted, and I was glad she did because I had just put that in my notes. Like, girl, y'all just had a situation like this. And with Kay bringing up the trip Wendy had and how her and Stacey were forced to be in one room with two sets of bunk beds, she pretty much tells Angel, like, girl, you're not the first and you won't be the last to have to deal with people not liking their room situation. Like, it's just what comes with the territory. I've been on like 3 different trips with those ladies and it's always something. So don't take it to heart like, you won't be the first, you won't be the last, okay? Because you really ain't doing nothing. Now that makes sense on not taking it to heart. Like, don't beat yourself up, right? About them not feeling accommodated because this is the history. This is what happens when it comes to these room situations, right? You didn't do anything to them. And in all honesty, you're getting them back and they just cannot take their own medicine. It's what it is. Now, y'all ain't got to like Angel. That's on y'all, you know, but I was here for all of it, okay? All of it. Anywho, let's keep going. So, Tia says that she was excited to experience the outdoors. Giselle was like, you were? Not me. That's not me. I wasn't. That ain't me. Well, then why were you going to come, love? Why did you want to come? Why didn't you just say, hey, I'm going to respectfully decline? Why did you want to come? Because y'all wanted to go into that lady's beautiful home and y'all wanted to go and pick it the fuck apart. And she's not giving y'all the opportunity to do that. Girl, not the people say hide your kids, hide your husbands. Girl, hide your houses too. That's what it's getting. Hide your houses as well. Okay? Anywho, all right, I want to go ahead and I want to get into more. I got to speed this up because I can't be on here much longer. So we're going to go ahead and get into this video over here of Jazelle and Robyn talking about the situation with Charisse. Let's tap into it.
We talk about Charisse. Okay.
Oh, yes. Our good friend Charisse. Yes.
Charisse, I don't know what happened. She did a bad night. She decided to call Carlos King and say, "Hey, I got some things to say. I need content." So
let's get
it.
Do you want to talk about it first, or do you want me to go first? Okay, so I'll talk about it first. So, I want to talk about the Ashley and Jackson of it all. Okay. Because so I saw there was some discourse prior to Charisse talking to Carlos. Maybe she had like made some. I don't. Okay, so I guess the episode aired where Ashley talked about how she kissed Jackson, right? Then so after the episode, it seems like people were maybe criticizing Charisse's response. So Charisse must have gone on, maybe responded to some comments and pretty much said that she sees things differently and, there's no friends in this business or whatever. So it seems like she was upset about the revelation that Ashley and Jackson had some sort of interaction, inappropriate or whatever, sexual, physical interaction. And then Ashley kind of made it worse because I did see her Watch What Happens Live question where Andy asked about Jackson. And what I gathered from it was that a lot more happened. So it's like Ashley continued to kind of like talk about what happened with her and Jackson. And pretty much from what I gathered from it was that they were intimate sexually. Okay.
Child, a mess.
And maybe that it's happened more than once. I don't know. So my thoughts, because I have a son. I mean, of course, he's just 17, so we're not quite there yet. But I'm trying to put myself in Charisse's shoes. I think the age gap here is just kind of changes things, right? So if I'm 60, my son is 27, and I have a friend that is, in her 30s, mid 30s or whatever, that I probably more so look at as like a daughter or a niece than an actual like, friend. I don't know that I would be upset if she were intimate with my adult son. Especially my adult son who like, if my son.
Real quick, the difference though, Robyn, is that Charisse didn't look at Ashley as a niece. She looked at her as a friend, from my understanding. Okay, that's what she was saying in the interview. So I think that that's different, but I think that Robyn does have a point if that's how she looked at her. I am a bit conflicted though, because it's like, Charisse, you're really upset with Ashley, but you didn't even check in with your son to find out what truly happened, because she's like, I don't want to believe that it happened. Girl, go ask your damn son. Go ask your son then to confirm what's going on. Like, I don't know. It is just giving a little bit that Charisse is trying to use this moment for something.
If I know that my son likes, dates women and likes to like do whatever, yeah, I don't know that I'm upset about it. What I would be upset about is if my friend chose to disclose that on national television. That's where I would have the problem. Where, especially if I'm not a main cast member of the show, my son has, he's not on the show. Like there's like my son thinks he's living a private life. I think I'm living a private life. I'm not a housewife. It's not about my personal life. So that's where I would have the issue if I were Charisse. The fact that Ashley chose to tell her about this. Number one, she didn't need to tell her. It's not really like, it doesn't change anything. That's none of Charisse's business what her adult son does. It's none of Charisse's business what adult Ashley does. Like, she didn't need to tell her, period. She didn't need to know. But secondly, like, to tell her on national television, I did not like that. I thought it was wrong. I thought it was unnecessary. If I'm Jackson, I'm probably pissed because I'm like, I'm not even on this damn show. Like, why are you even talking about me? So that's where I have the issue. But it seems like, I don't know, maybe Charisse is upset about that more so than the fact that they actually were intimate, the way that it was delivered to her. But I don't really know. I was kind of like disappointed that she chose to talk to Carlos King and kind of like air all that out and kind of like take it a lot farther. I don't really know where all of that energy came from. But it seems like maybe she just was kind of like not blindsided, but I think the discourse online from the fans and how people reacted to it maybe caused her to look at things differently and get upset.
I do agree. I do agree. I think that is exactly what had happened. I think that's what had happened. But here's the other part too, because I was like, okay, Charisse, I feel like you're just saying this because you seeing our reaction now you're making it bigger. But Charisse also said that Ashley was further going around saying additional stuff. Like, he good in bed, he this, he that. Da, 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 da. It's like, girl, you supposed to be my friend. Like, still chill. Chill out. You got to tell everybody that. If he ain't talking, why you over here talking? Like, ho, what you got? Okay, I do kind of agree with Robyn a little piece on she should have never told the lady, really. Okay, if it wasn't her business and it wasn't hurting nobody and y'all grown, then she shouldn't have told her. But at the same time, when you consider yourself somebody's friend, I feel like maybe she should have told her and let her know what's going on. But also, I'm like, girl, she had to tell her shit. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get into more.
So I don't know, but I know, yeah, if I'm 60, my son is 27, my friend is 37, I don't care what they do. I really don't.
Yeah.
But just don't talk about it on national television. It's nobody's business, especially when they're not cast members. Jackson's not a cast member. Charisse is a friend that popped in what, 3 times? Like, I thought that was tasteless of Ashley to do.
Okay.
Clock
My
that.
thoughts are, I hear you, but I don't, that part, it's not I don't care about. What I care about today is Charisse. We discussed it on camera. Yes. Me, Ashley, Charisse. I personally thought when Ashley was was in the process of mentioning it, I thought Charisse was gonna like flip the table, go the hell off, go crazy. I don't know anything. None of that happened. Okay, great.
Right.
And saying so, she's giving the same energy that you just described, Robyn. Jackson's grown. He can do what he wants, which he is, and so is Ashley. Ashley's a beautiful girl. And Charisse has for years made comments about Ashley being her daughter-in-law, and
Right.
they were flirty, and that would be so cute. Blah blah blah. So there's no issue here. Okay.
Right.
Then when it was brought up again in a whole other scene, Charisse had the same energy. Like, she kind of like thought it was funny. It was kind of cute. Whatever. you can't then let the fans gas you up to then have a moment, to then have an issue off camera.
Right.
Like, no, that's just, I think it's ridiculous. And then how I'm catching strays is beyond me. Okay.
Right.
And how Charisse is rewriting history is beyond me. And I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna get into the weeds of that because it's just
Yeah.
like actually no need. But it's crazy because Grace says to me when this all kind of hit, have you talked to Charisse? Like, why don't you just call her? And I was like, no, I haven't talked to Charisse. And she said, well,
Mhm.
when was the last time you talked to her? And I said, oh, let me think. And I said, you know what? We had filmed season 10. We had wrapped
Yikes.
on it.
Mhm.
And the week after, NEC invited me out to celebrate Charisse for Charisse's birthday. You were
Mhm.
invited too, Robyn.
Yep.
You couldn't make it. I could. So no cameras. I went to go celebrate Charisse. At the table was NECA, Charisse, me, Ashley.
Mhm.
Well, we celebrated Charisse. Charisse had no smoke. She had no fire. We ate dinner. We left there, went to the club, took it to the club because she wanted to go dancing. No smoke, no fire. Charisse had a grand old time.
Ooh.
So I just don't know how then Gizelle and Ashley, but I'll just speak for myself, are horrible people, bad friends, make up lies, wanted to push her out of Potomac,
Yeah.
all these things that are simply not true.
Yeah.
So now that I know, Charisse, how you want to feel, now that I know, I will govern myself accordingly. But because I've always cared about Charisse and I will continue to care about her, I wish her the best of luck. I want nothing but great things in her life, and God bless. But
Can I say I'm not surprised Jazelle saying all this? Because when Charisse was doing the interview, I was thinking to myself, like, oh, girl, you sure you want to go there? Because now any small chance that they had of bringing you around, they really not going to bring you around now. Okay, because although you're saying one thing like you don't care to be a part of the show, or shall I say you're not trying to sign any contracts, but then you're around to be on camera and then you're doing these interviews and stuff, it's like you do want a little bit of attention, is what it seems. So now you kind of missed out on that because it don't seem like they're gonna bring you around at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that Charisse was fully wrong about Gizelle and Ashley, but what I will say is that, but you were cool with it though. You knew all of this stuff about these ladies and you were cool with rocking with them, hanging with them, regardless of what they were doing. So much so you even threw your little shade at Stacey, right? And then now that it's your turn, or the audience is like going crazy over your situation, now you want to try and distance yourself in a sense, and you're questioning your friendships now. Girl, I guess. Anyway, let's keep going.
there's never been a moment for me to support Charisse, and I haven't done it. There's
Right.
never been a moment for me to speak up for Charisse, and I haven't done it.
Right.
So
Yeah, I don't really know where all the energy towards you came from. I was very surprised to hear that. Very, very surprised to hear that. And then regarding the Ashley stuff, I know she said something like she thought it was a joke. She didn't believe it. And then I don't know, but I think I'm just thinking like maybe, a lot of times on the show, it's like you experience something and then you watch it back and then you have a different perspective, or somebody, says something to give you a different perspective and to make you think about things differently, which so she could have changed her thought process about everything and probably maybe looked at it a little deeper, or maybe somebody, said something that made her whatever, like think differently. But I don't know. I mean, I wish I had like a little more insight to be able to say like, no, this is exactly what the issue was, especially with you. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna have to call her and be like,
you call
what
her.
happened? And we spoke recently, very recently, and after the Ashley stuff, we spoke, and she didn't have anything negative to say about you. So I don't know how she got on that topic. No, I didn't watch the whole interview. I just saw clips, and I saw like the headlines where it was like, Sheree says Jazelle, whatever, or she was implying, some person, and it was clear that she was talking about you. And I'm like, I don't know where this came from. Like she's never like the thing that I didn't understand. She's never said anything like that to me. Like never, like.
Girl, it's so messed
Never.
around
And then
here.
I know, like, you always vouched for Charisse. You always tried to get her included and spoke to production about, let's include Charisse. And so I'm just like, I don't know where that came from, but I hate that we're here.
God bless her. God bless. And
Yeah.
because if I know that I've been nothing but a friend to you, and then you just like mix it up in your head, I can't help you further, right?
Yeah.
Like it's unnecessary.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can understand that. It's like, where do you go with that? I don't know. But it's unfortunate that it got there. But I don't know. My thought is just like somebody must have just like said something that made her like.
And even if somebody
don't know.
did gas you up, you still have your own mind. You still have your own history. I
Yeah.
have what, a 15-year history with Charisse, and last I checked, I did not do anything to her. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. God bless her. I wish her nothing but greatness in life. Her and
Yeah.
her whole family, like the kids, everybody. Like what?
Child, so that is what Miss Gizelle had to say. I want to go back to a clip that I had because I can't remember. She may have said it here, but this should be a pretty short clip over here on No Chaser
My thoughts
TV.
are,
Let me get this real quick because
my
I think
thoughts
she said
are,
that.
I hear you.
She says Charisse referenced Ashley at once upon a time as a daughter-in-law. And I'm over here like, you know what? I could believe that. I could believe that because when Jackson came in, Charisse was like, Ashley, look who's here. Ashley, you're calling for Ashley once your son arrives, especially after knowing that she and your son shared a kiss. And then you want to come down to social media and concoct this, oh, I'm so upset. I'm so disappointed as a friend. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, it really was given. Honestly, I understand Ashley may have went on and continued to talk about the lady's son and how good he is in bed and stuff like that, according to Charisse. And I understand if she's frustrated about that, like, girl, chill out. But also at the same time, two things could be true. Ashley said that, which disappointed Charisse and made Charisse feel away. But also the audience reacted because she underreacted. And then now all of a sudden she's mad because we're mad. But I guess, girl, either way, good luck. All right. I want to hop over here to Housewives of a Housewife or Housewife from a Housewife. And I want to check out this clip. First of all, I did a video the other day. We got into some church folks, okay? You guys have not seen that video, go check it out. Now, there's been a lot of discourse about Jamal Bryant, who is the ex-husband of Gizelle Bryant. His current wife, Miss Carrie. They went to a United Negro College Fund event separate from the church, and she wore like a new type of dress. And there's been discourse, there's been people that have been in support of it, and there have been people that have not been so in support of it, right? They felt like that type of attire that she wore was not becoming of a pastor's wife. And it's like, y'all, come on now. And some of the things that y'all doing in the church, outside of the church and stuff, is not becoming of a child of God. But y'all be out here doing what the hell y'all want to do now, don't you? So the people start coming for the lady. They didn't like it, and y'all entitled to feel how y'all feel. I didn't really see anything wrong with her outfit. You know what I'm saying? The people gonna always complain about everything but what they're supposed to complain about. But now it seems like Jazelle and Robyn are going to be tapping into this conversation. And I want us to hear what these ladies have to say about the matter at hand. So let's check it out.
All the discourse online.
Yes.
I don't see anything wrong with that dress.
It was fine. It was fine.
Yes.
Yeah. But this is the thing. You know, people gonna have their commentary one way or the other.
True that.
And you would think you would not feed into the commentary, Pastor.
That part.
Listen, I'm with Gizelle on that. You would think he would not feed into that. Pastor, you would think. You know why you would think that? Because if you feel like it was fine, if you don't address it, maybe it'll go away. But it also gives, Pastor Bryant, did you not have much to get into on that Sunday? Let's be honest, we're in the world now where pastors enjoy going viral. So since y'all are making this more of a topic, let me jump in the ring and go viral with y'all. It only helps me and my congregation. That's what I feel. I feel like he did that because he knew it was going to make the blogs likely and it was going to be a viral moment, and that's more promotion for his church. Try to be very clear. I'm starting to be on to y'all pastors and y'all out here doing stuff for clout and for social media, Mike Todd and all of y'all, okay?
So her dress was fine, but and people gonna have, say whatever they want to say. Let's just not feed into it. That's all.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, because that's when you make it unnecessarily bigger than it is.
Yeah, you bring more attention to it for sure.
Yeah.
But I also think, I don't know, I'm just like, it was an unnecessary discussion, period. Yeah, so just leave it alone. But, it was made a moment for sure.
Yeah.
Or maybe use a different platform for that. I don't know that Sunday service is the place to talk about.
Agreed.
Because he got in the pulpit going off on the phone. Now, you ain't have to get up there and read them people down like that, Pastor Bryant. You ain't have to get up in that pulpit talking about some shake it fast, but he did.
Agreed. And
I'm so funny.
I'm not going to tell him when and where to say whatever he has to say.
Yeah.
But maybe it was a Bible study moment, right? Not on Sunday.
Right.
Let's Sunday for the word of the Lord.
Yes. Because I didn't see the connection to the word of the Lord. Sometimes it's like, I know you don't want to talk.
Okay, child. Was the Lord there that day? An absolute mess, okay? But that's what Mr. Bryant got going on. That's what the ladies of Real Housewives of Potomac have going on. I want to hear you guys' thoughts about this after show. All right. And I also want to hear you all's thoughts about what these ladies had to say about Charisse and the whole Ashley Jackson gate of it all. All right. That's all that I have for you all at this time. Of course, I am Jamie. That's me. Be sure to like up the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Catch me on social media, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I could face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim.